1. No more shoe removal at TSA. What you need to know. 2. Travelers react to 2024 TSA shoe policy update. No more removing shoes at security. 3. Breaking news. TSA ends shoes-off policy for airport security screening. 4. DHS ends shoes-off policy. What you need to know. 5. TSA ends shoe removal requirement at airport security. 1. No more shoe removal at TSA. What you need to know. A major shift in airport security. No more removing shoes at TSA checkpoints. This week, U.S. travelers are being told they no longer need to take off their footwear during standard security screenings, thanks to a significant update from the Transportation Security Administration, TSA. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed the change during a press conference at Reagan-Washington National Airport, stating it will take effect immediately nationwide. Our security technology has evolved dramatically, Noem said, emphasizing a new, multi-layered approach to safety that combines advanced screening methods with collaboration across federal agencies. Passengers can now expect a more seamless experience without compromising security. This shift marks a departure from past protocols, which required shoes to be removed after the 2001 shoe bomber incident involving Richard Reed, a man who tried to detonate explosives hidden in his footwear on a flight from Paris to Miami. Travelers with TSA PreCheck, a priority screening program, have long been exempt from this rule. To qualify, passengers must apply and pass a background check. However, other requirements, like removing belts, coats, or items like laptops from bags, remain in place. Homeland Security is currently reviewing these rules to ensure they align with modern security standards. This change isn't just about convenience. It reflects years of technological advancements, including improved X-ray machines and body scanners, which allow security officers to detect threats without invasive measures. But here's where it gets controversial. Some argue that removing shoes is a simple, effective way to catch dangerous objects, while others believe the new policy prioritizes speed over thoroughness. And this is the part most people miss. The decision to drop the shoe rule wasn't made lightly. After the 2006 implementation of the policy, the TSA worked closely with airlines to balance safety and efficiency. Today, the agency claims it's exploring even more innovative ways to enhance security without slowing down travelers. So, do you think this change will make air travel more efficient or create new security concerns? Share your thoughts below. 2. Travelers react to 2024 TSA shoe policy update. No more removing shoes at security? Imagine a world where you can breeze through airport security without the hassle of removing your shoes. This is now a reality thanks to a recent Transportation Security Administration (TSA) update. The new rule, announced by Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, aims to streamline the screening process and enhance efficiency at U.S. airports. But here's the catch. While most travelers are celebrating the change, it's also sparking debates about security priorities. Let's break down what this means for passengers and why this seemingly small adjustment has sparked such strong reactions. At the Sioux Falls Airport, travelers like Klein Capps and his grandson, Elias, shared their thoughts on the shift. Klein, a retired professor with decades of travel experience, admitted he's no stranger to the old shoe removal ritual. "I've taken my shoes off countless times," he said, recalling family trips and international assignments. While he doesn't have strong opinions on the policy, he's glad the change is happening. Elias, on the other hand, sees the benefit for older travelers or those with mobility challenges. "Tie-on shoes can be a pain, especially when you're rushing to catch a flight," he added. John Dunn, who recently returned from Florida, echoed these sentiments. He highlighted how the new rule could save time during security checks, which already involved juggling laptops, bags, and other items. Eliminating the shoe step would make the process smoother, he said. But the policy's origins aren't without controversy. The requirement to remove shoes was introduced after Richard Reed's failed attempt to detonate explosives in his footwear on an American Airlines flight in 2001, a reminder of how far security measures have evolved since 9/11. While most travelers understand the rationale behind the original rule, some wonder if the new policy compromises safety. After all, shoes remain a potential hiding spot for prohibited items. Klein acknowledged this concern, saying, "Security is about being cautious. Stuff can be hidden anywhere." Elias added, "It's a trade-off between convenience and vigilance." The TSA emphasizes that the policy change is immediate, but exceptions will still apply. Travelers may be asked to remove their shoes for additional screening if needed. This nuance raises an important question. How do we balance passenger convenience with a need for rigorous security? So what's your take? Do you think the TSA's decision strikes the right balance, or does it risk overlooking potential threats? Share your thoughts below, whether you're cheering the change or questioning its implications. Your voice matters. 3. Breaking news. TSA and shoes-off policy for airport security screening. A bold move by the TSA is set to change the airport security experience for millions of travelers. Say goodbye to the dreaded shoes-off policy. Nearly 2 decades after the initial implementation, the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, is finally doing away with the requirement for passengers to remove their shoes during security screenings. This policy shift is a significant step towards enhancing the efficiency and comfort of the airport security process. According to 2 sources who spoke to ABC News, the TSA plans to allow passengers to keep their shoes on when passing through the general security lines at major airports nationwide. An unexpected memo sent to TSA officers last week outlined this new policy, stating that all passengers will be permitted to keep their footwear on in all screening lanes at numerous airports across the country, starting this Sunday. The memo further indicates that the transportation agency aims to implement this policy at all U.S. airports in the near future. Previously, only passengers enrolled in the TSA pre-check program were generally allowed to keep their shoes on during screening. The transportation agency has been actively seeking innovative solutions to expedite passenger movement through security checkpoints. However, passengers who trigger alarms at scanners or magnetometers will still be required to remove their shoes for additional screening, as per the memo. This policy change marks a significant departure from the TSA's previous stance, which required passengers to take off their shoes since 2006. The policy was introduced 5 years after Richard Reed's failed attempt to detonate explosives hidden in his shoes on an American Airlines flight from Paris to Miami. Reed was subdued by fellow passengers and the flight crew before the explosives could detonate. ABC News has reached out to the TSA for further comment on this development. What are your thoughts on this new policy? Do you think it will improve the airport security experience, or is it a step too far? Share your opinions in the comments below. 4. DHS and shoes-off policy. What do you need to know? Imagine breezing through airport security without stopping to remove your shoes. It sounds simple, but for millions of travelers, this change could be a game changer. Today, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem unveiled a sweeping update. Domestic airport passengers no longer need to take off their shoes at TSA checkpoints. This announcement marks a shift toward a more welcoming and efficient experience at U.S. airports. According to Secretary Noem, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, aims to modernize air travel and make lengthy waits at security a thing of the past. By retiring the shoes-off rule, we're not only making travel more pleasant, but significantly reducing wait times, Noem explained. Passenger security is still our highest priority. Thanks to advanced screening technology and a robust multi-layered security framework, travelers can keep their shoes on without compromising anyone's safety. This is just one example of how the Trump administration is working to fulfill its vision of a new golden age for American travel. But here's where it gets controversial. Many still wonder if this decision might open new security gaps, even with upgraded technology. Could this new era of convenience come at a hidden cost? DHS is confident in its safeguards. Core TSA procedures remain unchanged, including identity checks, secure flight vetting, and other security protocols. And this is the part most people miss. the shoes-off policy isn't the only thing evolving. DHS continues to roll out traveler-friendly changes. On July 2nd, the TSA introduced the Serve with Honor, Travel with Ease initiative, offering perks like TSA pre-check discounts and fast-track lanes to military personnel and their families. Plus, TSA's implementation of Real ID at airports has already achieved a remarkable 94% compliance rate, making security lines move even faster. All these reforms signal a bold new direction for air travel in the United States. But what do you think? Is the convenience of keeping your shoes on worth any potential risk? Should we trust technology and layered security? Or is the old-fashioned, better safe than sorry approach still best? Share your thoughts in the comments. Are you cheering on this change, or does it raise red flags for you? 5. TSA and shoe removal requirement at airport security. A major shift in airport security. No more shoe removal. In a groundbreaking announcement, the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, has declared that passengers in the United States will no longer be required to remove their shoes at airport security checkpoints. This significant change, which comes after nearly 20 years of enforced shoe removal, was revealed by Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security, during a press conference on Tuesday. TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints, Noem stated. Our goal is to enhance the travel experience while still upholding safety standards to ensure the security of all passengers. This news was initially reported by the blog Gate Access, sparking interest and discussion among frequent flyers and travel enthusiasts alike. But here's where it gets controversial. Noem emphasized that the TSA's approach to security is based on a system of layered protection. Passengers will still undergo multiple levels of screening and identity verification, ensuring that safety remains a top priority. Interestingly, while the Biden administration was reviewing this policy, Noem credited former President Trump for initiating the move to eliminate the shoe removal requirement. In light of past events, it's essential to understand the context of this policy change. The shoe removal rule was implemented in response to the actions of Richard Reed, infamously known as the shoe bomber, who attempted to detonate explosives hidden in his shoes on a flight from Paris to Miami in December 2001. The TSA introduced the shoe removal requirement nearly 5 years later, following intelligence that indicated ongoing threats, particularly after a foiled terrorist plot in August 2006 involving liquid explosives on transatlantic flights. This led to the introduction of the TSA's 311 liquids rule for carry-on luggage. And this is the part most people miss. Over the past 2 decades, security technology has advanced significantly. Noem pointed out that the TSA has evolved, incorporating new scanning technologies and increasing the number of officers in various areas. The Real ID compliance provides us with an additional layer of security, allowing us to know who is passing through our checkpoints, she explained. For those enrolled in the Trusted Traveler program, known as TSA PreCheck, the ability to keep shoes on during screening has long been a perk. However, participants must undergo a background check and pay an application fee. Noem expressed confidence that travelers will continue to find value in this program, even as the shoe removal requirement is lifted for all passengers. As this policy unfolds, it raises important questions about airport security and passenger convenience. Will this change enhance the travel experience, or could it lead to new security challenges? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with this decision, or do you believe that safety should still come first, even if it means removing shoes? Let's discuss.